All right, we're live, and I got another controversy to talk about. I'm only doing this for me, and I just want to put out my opinion on what I think. I'm not right or wrong for saying the stuff I'm saying. I'm only right in my eyes, and I don't care what anyone else says. However, sometimes the things people say, sometimes they could get to me, not in the way that's like, I don't care if they agree with, if they agree with me, or I just want them to at least understand my side. I want to try to understand their side as well. I'm not looking for like some way to agree with someone or whatever. And it's fine to talk about something that, or someone that you think is wrong in some situation, respectfully. For example, this video, I'm Dante reacts to the ban on abortion in willing states. Like I said, it's a very controversial thing to talk about. So if you don't feel like watching this sort of content, then I would just close off the video or get out of the live stream. I mean, there is no one in the live stream right now, but that's okay because I'm gonna post this up on my YouTube later, so it's okay. What's it called? Anyway, yeah, this video. So, long story short, Dante saw a video from DC. I forgot his name, but it's about to show him in a second. Like, that dude is a pro-lifer, and Dante likes well, you're about to see. So yeah, anyway. And last time I made a video similar to this, I skipped ahead. But to be honest, this video has a lot of stuff going on pretty much the whole way through. So we're gonna react to pretty much the whole 39, damn near 40 minutes of this. So yeah. Anyway, we're starting right now.
Yes, Katie.
Wait, Sean was in here with the donation. Said you seen Young Don the Sauce God's take?
That's his name, Young Don the Sauce God. Okay. I do know of him, by the way. I just can't remember his name that much.
Oh, hold on. Give me a second. Let me see what you're talking about. Let me just go to Twitter because I'm assuming that's what you're talking about. Twitter, Young Don the Sauce. This is so random that you said that, but you did donate and ask, so I'm kind of intrigued on what you were saying. Young Don the Sauce God, Twitter.
Just skip
let me scroll down. No. I can't sign up. Like, bro, is there a way I can just look at Twitter without having? Christ, I can see.
All right, I just skipped ahead like 10, 15 seconds. Nothing. We didn't miss anything.
The tweets from here, man. Let's see. Tell
Sup,
me
Adam?
how.
I'm just. Oh, he left. Never mind.
Hold on, I'm reading this for the first time.
Here. You seen Young Don the Source God TSKE.
Oh, double. Okay, you're really doubling down on this. Let me see. Tell me how it's only niggas bitching about the fact that I'm pro-life. Y'all niggas lame as fuck. Y'all don't need abortion because ain't a bitch alive that would let you nut inside anyway. Dog, you can't preach all this about people being sensitive to different opinions and respond with salt when people don't agree with you. Fuck are you talking?
That's true. But let's see what Young Don says.
About. I don't care. I don't claim to care about your opinion. If you're pro-abortion, you're just wrong in my eyes, point blank, period. When have I ever pretended to care what you think? It isn't.
If that's actually how he thinks, then that's good. I give him props for that.
Impossible for my daughter to get R-worded.
Yeah, that's a pretty weird thing to say. I mean it's good in a way. Like, sure, it would be great if your daughter or son could never get, fuck, I'm not scared to say it. If your son or daughter will never get raped throughout his or her life, then that's good. It's just the way he said it, and also the way Dante read it. It made it sound like more worse than it may or may not be. Oh yeah, by the way, I just want to say, Dante is one of my favorite reactors in the world. I love his music and meme reactions, and all that, and his reactions to like the stuff with animals and things. I just think when it comes to like the political stuff, like, and I usually agree with him, but he just once in a while he has like some really weird, sometimes effed up takes. And in this video, this is probably his worst take, in my opinion. But like I said, I still respect him. It is his opinion. He's respecting that it's his opinion. He respects other people for having their opinions. So at the end of the day, I still do respect Dante. And I probably always will. However, it would be biased to me if I didn't rightfully call out people for saying something I don't agree with. Not saying I'm right, but I just don't agree with them. I'm sure Dante could understand if he ever saw this. Anyway, continuing.
They say you can speak shit into existence. Well, that's what I chose to speak into existence. That's the energy I put into the universe. Hope y'all don't ever have one, though. You clearly can't keep her safe. The women in your care must be easy pickings. My women are protected.
Now, this is when young Don starts getting a little... Like, at first what he was saying was, I can get by it. But then from here on, like, it starts getting questionable, And we're about to see why.
Okay. Okay, chat. Let's talk about it. So I see this shit. Yeah, I see this shit. And I'm thinking to myself, what the fuck is going on? What is going through the mind right now? What is going through the mind of this person who just said that? And I honestly don't know, bruh.
Same.
He's on a call with where? On a call with Rage where? Where?
All right, so right now, or during this recording Dante's video, Your Age and Young Don are on a voice call, and I think they're live streaming on Twitch. For y'all, some of y'all don't know who Your Age is. He's another like Twitch/YouTube reactor, and he reacts to all sorts of things. He's similar to Dante, but but he's a little more crazy and everything. But I still agree with a lot of the stuff he says as well. But yeah, anyway.
I really need to know.
Shout out to Your Rage though. I'm a big fan of him.
Where can I watch this? On Twitch? Because this makes absolutely no sense. Where? What?
I'll just skip. Alright, I just skipped a few seconds again. We didn't miss anything. It was just him looking for it.
Because they are not raised in a situation.
Oh my God! Why do
they
you
have men that are that have made it their mission to protect them.
Oh yeah, so this is DC Young Fly with the leather jacket, you know. So just letting you know, that's him.
So what are you on fire with? What do you think of that?
Oh, let me rewind a bit just to
That
hear what he
because they
said.
are not because they are not raised in a situation.
Oh my God! Why do
where
you
they have men that have made it their mission to protect them?
So what are you on fire with? What do you think of that?
What I am saying is that one, we as a society, the men in the society, need to take more accountability for the protection of the women in this society.
That's not what this is about, though.
Too many of our women.
That's not what this is about.
Yeah, Dante's right. I mean, it has to do with the situation, but he is sort of like sidelining, or like he's going on like a side quest argument, instead of talking about what they're actually what your age and Dante are actually trying to figure out. But yeah.
To live lives that leave them too vulnerable to all kinds of dangers and sickos. So there's that, right?
Yo,
I'm saying that
is true. That is true. But when you were tweeting,
right.
I know it's not what you meant, but the way you worded things made it seem like there aren't, like, okay, let's say that it made it seem like the woman that had gotten raped is like they weren't protected. They weren't the men around them weren't protecting them at all. Like anything could happen, Don. Like anything could happen, bro. You protect your daughter to the best of your ability, and anything could.
That's what I'm saying. Unless
I don't. But here's the thing.
Your age is right. It doesn't matter how hard you try. There's always a possibility for your child to get raped somehow. It sucks. It's unfortunate that it happens. It's terrible. But at the end of the day, it is possible, no matter what. Like, and young Don, like, he has the right intentions and all. He just wants to like keep his like daughter safe and everything. But like we're about to find out, he just has a weird way of going about it. But we're about to see why.
I don't believe that.
Okay, that's good. You shouldn't believe that. You don't have to believe that.
I'm sorry, I gotta say this. The thing is, can I pause? I can't pause. This is the thing, bro. You, as hard as you want to, like, everybody obviously wants to protect their daughter. When you have a daughter, if you ever have a daughter, obviously you're gonna want to protect those women, your sisters even. But unless you're going to be around them, attached to the hip 24/7,
I like meme _100.
she's gonna have to eventually live her own life. Things happen.
I'm watching your wife.
Exactly. Dante's right. Like what young Don is saying, that he just has to be around his daughter or whoever he's talking about 24/7, 100% of the time, making sure they do this and that, just so they don't, it's like, it's a little, like I said, he has the right intentions, but the way he's going about it is kind of extreme, Cause like I said, like Dante said, his daughter is eventually going to have to live his life, and if she grows up living that way, just being protected all the time, then she's not ever going to feel safe if young Don and his daughter eventually do get separated. Like, what happens when she goes to like school or whatever? Is she ever going to go to college or get a job? Like, what then? Is she still gonna feel the need to be protected all the time, or will she get tired of it, and will she lose respect for Dawn for being too protective? So young Don, like I said, good intentions, just not a great way of going about it, you know? Anyway, continuing.
Play Walking Dead Bible Thump.
As much as I would like hate for my sisters to get in car crashes, like I don't want that to happen. And like I can't be in the car with them or drive them everywhere that they go. They gonna have to be driving, and they gonna get into accidents. Like sometimes they gonna get into accidents. My sisters have gotten into car accidents. I wish that could have been prevented, but like shit like that happens. It doesn't like God.
Exactly. We gotta prepare for it. You know? The best thing we could do is learn about it and do our best to prevent it before it happens. That's the best thing we could do. And then pass on that knowledge to our descendants and, our daughters, sons, whatever.
This is like
an easy place to express very complex ideas. And I say what I say. I don't really care how people want to interpret it.
Right.
Personally, right? And so, in regards to what you were saying about, that situation, right? With a woman being in a position where she was assaulted, right? And, you're asking, what? I personally believe that as a man, you're supposed to. That's just how I see it. Like that can't happen to my daughter. I'm going like I don't believe, and this is what I'm saying. Like I don't believe in sending your daughter off to work.
Wait, what?
Now this is where I really disagree with Don. Where before I could at least see where he's coming from, and I could see why people would, This is a little. That's extreme. Not sending your daughter to work, or or any sort of woman, like that's like Dante said, that women have just as much. They should have just as much rights as men, and they deserve to live their lives the same way men do. And you know what? Just because you're a man doesn't mean you're always the best option for protection. I don't think it matters on what sex you are. I think it matters on your line of work. For example, I think you're just as safe in, let's say you get into a car crash. I would say you're more safe being in a hospital than you are in your home, unless your dad or your parents are like certified veteran doctors or whatever. But that's more unlikely than, in a hospital you're gonna get treated for, and this and that. Like, just because women are born as women doesn't mean they're less capable of taking care of themselves. And just because you're a man doesn't always mean that you're the best option for offering protection. I know the norms that are men have to be leaders and this and that, and they should. But that doesn't mean women have to be so restricted when it comes to living their life, That's actually sexist of young Don to say. And it's obviously disrespectful saying that women need to be protected all the time. They need help here and there. They, like it's like being politely offensive. That's really what it is. But anyway, continuing.
I don't believe in sending your daughter off across the country to go to school by herself.
What?
I believe that we live. You see, I'm an extremely traditional person.
That sounds controlled.
I don't know how much of my content.
Yeah. Dante just said, it sounds controlling. It is. It is, you know? Women don't, like, if women don't ever face anything bad in their lives, then it's gonna, like, if they don't face the troubles they go through in their life naturally, then, like, let's say they lived in like a gated community where they stay away from like social media and this and that, and they're taught to be like politically correct and all that, politically correct. But then they see something like a leaked video of Ukraine getting like a building torn down and people dying and stuff. It would probably tear them apart. Those people would probably be super confused and everything. Like if you're too controlling and too protective, then it's only going to make it worse for the person you're protecting, because they're not going to be ready to handle those hardships that they're eventually going to have to go through. Everyone goes through hardships, but people go through them differently depending on how they were raised and brought up in life. And you just, like I said before, the best thing to do is learn about it and prepare for it. And then you do the same thing for your younger family members and stuff. And even random people that need help, Anyway.
And have explored. Like, bro, I don't believe women should work.
Okay, now that's even that's even more extreme, because it's like women shouldn't work. So he's saying basically all women should be equivalent of just being housewives, just staying at home doing all the chores and stuff while the men go out working and pay for the mortgage and everything. That's what he's saying. He's saying all women should be like that, which is, it's messed up. And not all women have to be like that if they don't want to.
You see, so if a woman doesn't go to work, she cannot get raped by her coworker.
Wait, so you're keeping her...
I don't believe women should be allowed to
out the
walk
house?
around at night by themselves.
Wait,
so he's saying that if they don't go to work, they won't get raped, basically. But it could still happen. You know how many people are like stalkers? They like follow people around. They look through people's windows. Even if you stay at home all the time, you could still get raped. And also, this is not just a women problem. Men also get raped, and men get raped in more than women in some places. It just doesn't get shined upon as much because women, like men get raped too. This isn't just a women problem. So this, not only is this sexist, it's it's disrespectful, and it's super controlling and overly protective. So yeah, it's and it's a shame hearing it from young Don, because usually I agree with the stuff he says. Just here, I'm not really a fan of what he's saying right now.
Are they allowed out the house?
By allowed is not. I don't mean they should be in prison like
no,
they should be.
That's what it sounds like.
We need to create.
He does realize our words, like they don't come out. They don't only come out at night. They come out any time of day.
It would be
exactly. It's not just night, and also, it does sound like it's equivalent to, being imprisoned, you know? Being, like, controlled and told where to go and where not to go and everything. It's very similar. It's not exactly the same thing, but it's very similar. So yeah, Dante's right about that.
Accompanied by her father, by a brother, by an
literally
uncle,
what I said.
husband,
She has to be attached by the hip. She's a prisoner. She's a prisoner.
Around on her ones downtown at 11 p.m.
She can't go to the club with her friends.
So that's what I mean when I say
like people. Yes, people are weird, and especially at night, people are weird. Especially at night, people are weird. But I'm not gonna I'm not gonna control my wife, bro. I'm not gonna control my wife or control my daughter and say, no, you're not going to sleepovers. Or tell my wife, no, you're not going to the club. You're staying right here with me. You're not going anywhere. And if you're going, I'm going. And bro, she wants to go to the store to get something. You're not going to the store. You never know what could happen.
Exactly. Like, Dante's right. You sound like Young Dun sounds just as weird as some of the people he's trying to protect his daughter from, you know? Like some of those people who are actually out there and would want to do certain things to his daughter, some of them have the same ideas as Young Don, you know? And that's crazy to say, but it's true. Anyway.
They have to live their life.
If you go out tonight by yourself, a nigga gonna rape you. What you gonna say? What you gonna say? That can't happen. You gonna have to kill me, right?
Exactly.
So why can't we extend that kind of energy to the protection of our daughters and our wives and our girlfriends?
Josh, you have to talk.
And I believe...
Josh, please talk sense into
realism that comes into play. Like, I'm not gonna be around her every second of
exactly.
I'm gonna be on her shoulder. There's not gonna be a man in her protect. Like, not every second of a woman's life. Like, there's gonna be some time that she's gonna.
And a woman's life shouldn't revolve around a man's. Like, she should be able to live her own life.
Can happen though.
Exactly. No one's life should revolve around anyone. You know? So yeah, I'm Dante and your rage are right about this.
Low-key sexist.
Yep, like I said, sexist. It's sexist because Young Dom was only using women as the example of a victim, but this could happen, like I said, this could happen to men too. And, you know, I could look up some statistics on who's more likely to do it, but it's not a competition, you know? It's bad either way. It's not worse if it happens to men or women. It's just as bad either way. But the fact that he's only talking about women as the victim in this situation is it is sexist, you know? Anyway.
So, wouldn't you want more people to think the way you think since you agree with it and the society to be more like that? So wouldn't you want people to interpret it the right way and not just
yeah, that's the thing. Like, I get he is coming from a good place in his mind, but
like this: if I had tweeted something safe and politically correct and something I sat on for an hour,
now I would never say someone has to be political.
Wanting people to understand where you're coming from and in a positive way, so people are not.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Young Dun should care about I'm glad he doesn't care if people agree with him, you know, because if you spend all day caring about that, then you're gonna waste a lot of time. But anyway, like, you know, your rage is right. Young Don should care about how people interpret it. He doesn't have to care about if people agree, but what if people are purposely like misleading people or mixing up his words, you know? Like, if Young Don says one thing and then other people say another thing, basically making Young Don look crazier or you know, not as truthful as he sounds, you know? Like, he should care about how people interpret his stuff, his sayings and stuff, you know? I care about people interpreting what I say and understanding what I say. I don't care if they agree, you know? And I don't care if he does, but you know, like, I mean, I don't know. This is him. This is his opinion. This is how he sees things. You know, that's just how he is.
Chat. He literally tweeted, "My daughter."
I'm not saying that he's right or wrong. I'm just trying to point out some contradictions that, you know, I'm just trying to make sense of his point and his side. You know.
Could never get. I would never allow my daughter to get, or it's impossible for my daughter to get R-rated.
But here's what I'm saying. You say that, Ray. You say that, but check me out. Check me out. Right now, I'm on stream. I have 1,900 viewers. I haven't hit that. I mean, I don't know when's the last time I ever hit that. If I ever hit that. So,
by the way, saying it's impossible for your daughter or son or whatever to get raped, like, it's not impossible. Nothing's that when it comes to that, like, nothing's impossible. Like, pretty much anything can happen, you know? So saying it's impossible that's like that you sound overly ambitious, or I forgot the word, but you know, I'm hopeful, you know? He sounds overly hopeful. So yeah. Anyway.
Even though maybe what I said wasn't worded in the most genius way, the end result is I got more eyes on me. And even if
that's
out of
not
these
what it's about.
people, fucking, like I average around 600 viewers.
Exactly. He's sidelining again, you know, saying it's about, you know, it doesn't matter how he said it. It's just about how many people, like, saw it and the views. One, that, you know, that's not what it's about, this conversation. And two, like, if you're not saying it right, or if people aren't interpreting it the way you want it to, then wouldn't the eyes of the people be like a bad thing in this case? Because it's like they're seeing you for how they're interpreting it, but it's not how you interpret it, you know? Like, that would be a bad thing for me, but apparently he doesn't care, so.
Let's say that fucking 800 of them, right, are people that are new to me, right? Or I didn't do the math right, but you get what I'm saying. Let's say most of these people, right, who don't typically tune into the stream.
Wait, so this clickbait?
If one nigga is watching this, that is hearing me, and it makes him think to question where he stood on abortion in a way that leads him to being pro-life, then I count that as a dub. And if it made me
his point in all of this is just to get people, and I get it. He has a stance and what he believes. He believes abortion should not be legal. He's okay with the stance that happened and that it should be taken away. Women should not have that, you know, the chance to get abortions. But it's just the way that he's doing it.
The way how God has instructed me to see things.
Oh, God.
Through the Bible.
Oh, Bible.
And I may not have said things in a way that you would have thought was the best way to say it, but it did end with me getting more eyes on this perspective.
So is this about your stance or is it about clout?
Exactly. He makes it sound a little bit like he's looking for clout.
That wasn't my intention. I had no intention of anything. I just spoke how I felt honestly. And this is where it ended up. You get what I'm saying? I don't think, if I could choose to always tweet.
What do you mean tell my chat stop being weird? I'm sitting here watching. I'm not doing nothing. What the fuck did I do?
Views, then nigga, I'd be bigger than Mr. Beast. but
it's
I
not
don't know how
for
to do
clout.
that shit. All I can do is live my life authentically and honestly.
He's the one saying I got eyes and I got numbers.
Fucking people unfollowing me if it led to people fucking, thinking I'm stupid or whatever. I don't care. And that's what it is. Because I'm living my life authentically and honestly, and that's all I can attempt to do as a man.
I respect that he's, he's confident in what he says. He doesn't care about what people think about him and everything. Those are good traits to have. But, you should also be prepared for when people don't agree with you and aren't, some people aren't trying, to. I don't think your age and Dante are trying to change your mind. I just think they're trying to understand you and trying to help you word your opinion better. Because Dante said it, he does, he's fine. He says Young Don has his own stance, and that's fine, and he's trying to push it, But it's just the way he says it, and I agree that that can affect your point greatly, Anyway.
Oh, brother.
Papa, what didn't tell you to do that, Chief?
Yeah, again, you have your opinion, I have my
Yep,
opinion.
yeah, I guess, it's different opinions. It's different opinions. No, we're not putting it in sub mode. Don't do that. We're not putting it in sub mode. Leave my shit open, bro. Leave my shit open. They may be mad about what the fuck I gotta say. I don't care. Leave my shit open. I'm talking to everybody right now. He got his own opinion. I have my own opinion. I don't know if they cool or not, or they friends, but it's just the way that he going about it. That shit it's just weird, and it's like you can't control you can't control women. That's the whole point of this whole argument and why people are enraged that this was passed, because they're trying to control women's bodies.
Yeah, you can't control people, but all right, this is like the segue about when Amdante starts getting into the whole abortion thing, and then Danielle, his wife, comes in and helps him and stuff, and adds her little 2 cents to it. So yeah, this is when things start getting more and more controversial and tough to talk about for certain people.
Mason, thank you for the 25 give the subs. I appreciate you. The whole argument, the whole point of this is controlling a woman's body. Now, I guess some people really try to make the argument, we don't really need abortions. If they don't want the baby and can't take care of the baby, then they should just give it away for abortion. You do realize when you're pregnant,
he said abortion. He meant to say adoption. Just letting you know.
It's just not, you're pregnant and then poof, the baby's here. There's a whole thing you have to go through. And clearly you have not been around pregnant women, or you're not a female yourself who has been pregnant, to understand what that whole situation entails. Bro. It's easy for a guy to just say, you can just have an abortion when you can, if your wife is pregnant or your girlfriend is pregnant, still go to work, still go on fucking trips, still go to the fucking club, still go to fucking games and shit like that. It's easy for a dude to just say, bro, just get an abortion once you have the baby anyway. I'm gonna go fucking play FIFA or whatever the fuck, bro.
Once again, he meant to say adoption, and he clarifies this later.
It's easy for a guy to do that. A woman can't just, a girl can't just say with ease, I'll just have the baby and give it to abortion. And anyway, with that, does it cost money to give a baby away for abortion? What's the transaction with that?
For adoption.
I don't know how the transaction works, but even then, not all pregnancies are easy.
Okay, I'm going to say something now. No pregnancies are easy. They're never easy. And, yes, there is a lot more to being pregnant that a lot of people don't know about till this day. I don't know everything about pregnancies. However, and he's saying stuff about how this is all about controlling a woman's body. Personally, maybe some people think that way, but I don't think everyone does. Personally, like, I think a lot of people did this or made this law pass or whatever because they wanted to preserve the life of the baby. And no, the baby inside of the woman's stomach isn't a part of the woman. It's the woman's baby inside of her. That's not there. The baby is living until you get an abortion or it gets miscarried. The baby is living until then. So it's not, like some people try to say, oh, my body, my choice, and this and that. That, they're preaching about how they just want the choice to, do what they want for the sake of their health and everything. But they're taking away the choice of the baby getting to live or die. It's very hypocritical, and it's a very tough subject. I know not some women who get abortions have good intentions. Like sometimes they have medical deficiencies, or like sometimes they might have a deformity or something that will make it harder for them to get a pregnancy. So they get abortions thinking, that they can't, like, they can't have the baby even if they tried, or they it's a very tough conversation to talk about, and in some extreme cases no one's really right or wrong. And well, this is all opinionated, so really no one is right or wrong, but this is just how people are, saying their opinions. But what was I going to say? Like, actually, you know what? Dante's going to get more into it.
Adoption. Adoption. Does it cost money to give a baby away for adoption? That's what I meant to say.
I'm sure it does, but adoption is definitely not as expensive as actually keeping the baby. Because when you keep the baby, you have to pay for its education. You have to pay for more food on the table to feed the baby, for things like toys and stuff to keep it entertained while growing up. You have to spend more time with it. Not only do you have to spend more money throughout your life, but you also have to spend more time and put in more effort to take care of a baby. I'm not a parent yet. Eventually I do want to have kids, but I know for a fact that it's more expensive to have a baby than to put it up for adoption. Because once it's up for adoption, the baby is out of your life, unless you want to like adopt it or get custody. I could have worded that better, but still. So yeah, of course adoption has, of course you have to pay a certain amount for a baby to get adopted, but it's never going to be enough as taking care of it and keeping the baby in your life. So if you can't take care of a baby, then you shouldn't. Then really the actual thing is that you shouldn't have had a baby in the first place. And we're going to get more into this throughout the video, and yes, some women aren't in control in some cases. Like some women get raped and they get pregnant off of the people that raped them. And it sucks that happens. It's terrible. And I could understand why women would want to get abortions in that case, because they wouldn't want to have the child of their rapist, or they may not be in a situation to have a baby because they weren't ready to have one in the first place. But for the women that go out and just fuck all the time without protection and this and that, and then they get pregnant accidentally, and then they get a bunch of abortions and stuff like that, that's fucked up. Because it's like, and then they complain about, these men, they don't know what we go through, and it's my choice, and they're like trying to act like the men are the problem and all, and they are in some cases, but they never take any accountability for them. Sometimes, yes, some of the men are the problem, but what about the men? What about your taste? What about the men that you're looking for? Like, why do you keep making the same mistakes, going out with the same type of men and doing all this crazy shit? And it's partially your fault. I'm not saying it's 100% the woman's fault, but it's partially your fault. And if you can take accountability for it at least, then that will give me a lot more respect for you. But some women just don't want to take accountability, and some women just don't think they did anything wrong in those cases, when really they should have just found a better man, or to be with or have a baby with. And yes, sometimes men are they're very good at deceiving people sometimes, and so are women. But in those cases, yes, I'm not, it is mostly their fault, because they're the ones that are tricking you, but they're really good at it, and it makes sense, and I'm sure most people would fall for them. But regardless of all these situations, I still think abortion is wrong, and I will get more into it as Amdante also does. Anyway, continuing.
No? Here, let me Google it. Because this is the point.
I think he's forgetting that people get raped by family members too.
Bro, yeah, that too. You can keep them protected. There's only so much you can do to try.
That one donation said, people be getting raped by some family members, and yes, that is fucked up, and it does happen. But it's like I said, we'll get more into it.
Try to prevent things. It's like somebody who's been alerted that you see it in movies and stuff like that. They find out that they die a certain day. So on that certain day, they don't go outside at all. They don't go outside at all. They avoid going outside. And then they walk up the stairs, trip, and break their neck and die. It happens. It's inevitable. I'm not saying that your daughter or anybody's daughter is inevitable to getting, but things do happen, and things that are out of your control happen, which sucks. And I commend him for really believing that he can prevent it and that he's not going to let that happen. That's fire. I understand that concept. Any man would fucking love that concept. It's impossible for that to happen.
Exactly. It's impossible for it to happen, But at the same time, not all women are inevitable to be getting raped. You know, like terrible things are gonna happen to certain people, and it sucks. But like I said before, we just have to learn and prepare for it. You know. So yeah, this is one thing I agree with.
That will never happen. Not for me. Maybe, but it's just the way he attacks everybody else for how they look at what he said. Like I understand that. I understand that mindset wholeheartedly. Like, yo, that would never happen to my wife. I would never let that happen to my wife. Da 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 da. But it's like when people are like, bro, but you never know what happens and da 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 da. And for them to be like, well, you just never had a girl, and I can tell you just let people walk all over you, and this, that, and the third. It's like, it's not about them letting people walk all over them. They just know some things are out of their control. Like, and you don't want to speak that. You don't even want to speak that into existence.
Exactly. Some things are just out of their control. And what does Young Don want? Control. But he needs to understand that some things are just out of his control. And same goes for literally everyone, you know?
It's not about somebody else being soft or never having a girlfriend before or never nutting in a girl before. It's like, has nothing to do with this. It has everything to do with the women and their body and what they would have to go through. I don't know how like further I can explain it, but like I said, man, like I said, I'm not against him, and it's not like I don't like him. I don't know who he is, but I just saw it, and I saw that Josh's name got in the mix with it. Like, I was looking at his chat while he was talking about it when I accidentally clicked it before I started stream, and I was seeing people in chat saying, yeah, Josh kind of weird. Josh got da. But it's like, wait, hold on. First of all, what is going on? Well, like, what even happened? And then now I'm seeing everything. So I played with him before. Oh, so then I mean, maybe we talking before, but this is another thing, and I know this is a take that I could understand why people get mad. That's why it's like, it's not like I hate him.
Also sometimes threaten the women's life. It happened to my stepsister.
Yeah.
And I feel the same way. I don't hate him for having his opinion. I just don't agree with him, that's all.
What are women supposed to do then?
That's what I think. Yeah, he just worded it wrong, high key. Bro, what does Josh have to do with it? I guess on Twitter when he's saying stuff, Josh replied to one of the tweets saying something. Because I mean, the whole thing Don was saying, any man that is posting about abortions being banned in certain states is doing it for their selfish reasons, for their own selfish reasons, because they just want to nut in girls or some crazy stuff like that.
Okay, I don't agree with that. Not and like he's saying he just said all men who tweet about abortions and stuff do it for their own selfish reasons. Some of them do, but not all of them do. It's wrong to assume that, especially since Andante literally just said like he was just complaining about young Don going about a certain thing or a certain opinion, and then attacking people for not like agreeing with him. But now Andante is like just assuming men that talk about abortions have selfish reasons or they shouldn't be talking about it or this and that, which is like kind of hypocritical, you know? So yeah, anyway, here we go.
And I don't know what it was exactly, but Josh responded to it. But like I said, it's nothing against him. It's just the opinion
I like meme underscore 123.
Is wild how he said it.
His opinion is dog. He has a wife and a child, and he still thinks that women shouldn't have rights. Anyway, his YT animations are still fire.
Cause it's like he has his opinion. And this is why I don't talk like political stuff, and I guess why a lot of people don't talk political stuff. But you can't control a woman's body, and this is my opinion. I'll just say my opinion, and my thing is, I'm not trying to change anybody else's opinion. I don't think he's trying to change anybody else's opinion either. He just said his shit, and that shit
And that's good. I am doing the same here.
Then fuck with it.
That men at the young age of 18 years old have to sign up for the military in case of a draft for a war, so they're not in control of their bodies either.
Someone said, save the baby, wrong opinion. So it's not that. Like, I get it. People want to save the baby.
Whoever said that in the chat or the donation or whatever, there's no wrong or right opinions. Opinions aren't supposed to be right or wrong. I do agree with the opinion of, we should be saving the baby, but that doesn't mean your opinion is right or wrong. It's still an opinion at the end of the day. It just depends on how you go about it, or how many people you can get on your side. That's what's more important than if it being right or wrong, because it's impossible to be right or wrong, because it's an opinion. Only facts are can be proven to be right or wrong, because those are facts, not opinions. And they're supposed to deal with the truth, that are things that are proven to be true, and this and that.
But it's like, damn, what about the person who has to create the baby, who has to go
Hold on, let me rewind.
Save the baby? Oh, it's not that. Like, I get it, people want to save the baby, but it's like, damn, what about the person who has to create the baby, who has to go through what they're doing? Like, is it just fuck how the women feel and the baby is first priority?
No. And first of all, he's doing that assuming thing again, where, I don't support abortions. That means fuck women and all their opinions, and they could die if it means saving the baby. That's not what he's assuming. That's what men think. That's what Dante is assuming right now. And first of all, that's obviously not true. And I think he knows that's not true. I think he's just, like I said, it's the way he's wording it. Just like what he was saying for young Don. It was the way he was wording his opinion, I don't know why I'm talking like that, but yeah, like, not all, just because you don't support abortions doesn't mean you don't care about how women feel and their struggles and stuff. That's wrong. like just because, for example, just because I support American football doesn't mean they should get rid of football in like the rest of the countries just because they have the same name. It's somewhat equivalent to this situation, that example. But yeah, the fact that he thinks that, or he's just saying it just to say it, like, it's obviously not true. I don't like abortions, but I do care about how women feel and how, I do care about women. All right. So yeah.
It's like, what do we really care? And what about when women, like, some women die during pregnancy? Or
Chef, do you view
Okay, he just said how women die during pregnancies. That can happen, yes, and it's terrible that happens, But I don't know if Dante knows this or not, but you can also die during abortions as well. It is an extremely rare occasion, but it's possible. My camera is so out of focus right now, I don't know why. But god damn. Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with my camera, but like I said, you can just, like, yes, women can die during pregnancies, but they can also die through abortions as well. And so it's like, what are we saying right now? Like, but he's gonna go into more into it.
Abortions is a form of birth control, like pills, condoms, etc.
That's true. However, there's also surgical abortions as well. Some people take a pill, and I don't know what exactly happens other than it is supposed to kill the baby inside. And yes, I mean kill the baby. That's literally what it does. But there's also a surgical solution where people I guess they cut open their stomachs and they like do something. They probably take the baby out or something. I don't know how it exactly goes down step for step, but I know those are the two types of abortions.
Nah, cause me personally, like me and Danielle never used no birth control, and she'd never been on no birth control, and I mean, I guess in a way it could be like that, but I don't see it like that, and I don't think it should be like that.
Can I say something?
Yes, you can. Oh, a woman's opinion. A woman's opinion. Who can argue? Who can argue with her? She's literally a woman.
I can, and we're about to see why.
Swear that. My wife
And also,
she was
this is
really sick for the first 4 months.
Yo!
We considered getting rid of it because it.
Hold on. Before there's like a donation. I respect Danielle as well. I respect Dante, and I respect Danielle for standing by their opinions, for giving us some great content throughout Twitch and YouTube throughout the years. At the end of the day, I still respect them, even after, giving their opinion on this. But it's fair for me to disagree if I want to disagree, or if my views just don't match up with this situation, and I'm not trying to prove them, like, I'm not trying to sway their decisions or anything, or have them think a certain way, but that's exactly what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to say why I think they're wrong. They're not actually wrong. They're wrong to me, and this is what I'm trying to prove.
She was really sick for the first 4 months.
Yo!
We considered getting rid of it because it was affecting her health.
Someone just said something crazy.
This being overturned means we wouldn't have that option if this ever happened again.
I'm so glad you just said that.
That donation said that the person and his wife had a baby. They were sick for a while, and they considered getting an abortion. And I'm sorry for that happening. But and I could see why they considered that. But I'm very sorry for what that person went through.
I'm actually gonna read that before you even start talking. Swerve out with the $5 donation said, "My wife is pregnant and she was severely sick for the first 4 months. We were considering getting rid of it because it affected her health. This being overturned means we wouldn't have had that option if this ever happened again."
That's literally why I just came in here. Yep. Because, I don't know if you guys, most of y'all probably already know or whatever, but obviously I was pregnant at the beginning of this year. And most people already know what I went through in there. We had a miscarriage or whatever. And, the level of sickness that I was going through, probably like what his wife was going through, I was 3 months pregnant. I was so sick. There's women that even get sicker than I was, that they literally have to terminate the pregnancy. Like, the doctor says, hey, it's you're not going to be able to, because you lose so much weight. You're not able, like I said, I felt like I was dying. I was living, but my insides, you guys would see me.
You look
so it's just not having that choice. Yes, and you gotta think about it. We're on this earth already. Yes, a child is being taken away, but it's they're not really. You get what I'm trying to say? So it's
They're not really what? They're not really what? Living? Is that what you were about to say, Danielle? Because if that's what, and yes, you know what? I'm assuming maybe that's not what she was about to say. So we'll continue. And I am sorry for what you two went through. It sucks going through that, and I'm sorry. No one should go through this. It's because it's terrible. But yeah, anyway.
You think about the child or the person that's sitting here living today, going through it. So like,
okay, there she said it. The child or the person living today. She's the way she said it. It makes it sound like she's saying that the baby isn't living or anything. And I know some of you are going to be like, oh, you're interpreting it wrong, or you're assuming. No, yes, I am, but at least, and I've said this before, only assume if you have something to go off of. Because I'm going off of what she said. I'm using her words. She said the baby or the person living today. Why did she only use the word living when she referred to herself and not also the baby? Because I can tell she thinks that the baby that was inside her wasn't living. And sure, it ended up dying, yes. But before that, it was living. There was still a chance for it to be born. And, that sucks that it didn't make it. But, and I know this is never going to be an easy choice for anyone. It's never going to be easy to have a baby or go through with an abortion. So, you're going to make a tough decision regardless. But the baby inside of you it's not just a piece of flesh. It's not some thing inside you. It's a living being that could potentially be born. It's not something that, and no, the baby and you are just as important. The baby isn't more important than you, and you're not more important than the baby. Let's just get that out of the way, because I know some people think that way, they're more important or the baby is more important. It's not, those are not true in my opinion. You should be both the person giving birth and the baby being birthed are just as important as each other. They need each other, Anyway.
And also, this is another part of it. She's in a position.
1 second. Let me just sway my camera around. Hopefully, because I don't know why it's but it's it won't focus. This is annoying. Whatever. Anyway, whatever. You could still hear it. Nothing's really going on. They're just sitting down on a chair talking about it. So nothing's really happening on screen.
And this is where I agree. This is where, I agree with what Don was saying. I agree that women should be taken care of. As a man, you should be providing for a woman that you are, married to, or that you really love, and you're gonna be with forever.
True.
So luckily, she's in a position where she doesn't have to work. She doesn't have to go out to a job and pay her bills. I take care of all that for her. She don't have to worry about a thing. So luckily, when she was going through what she was going through, she could handle that, and I would just handle the load of everything. There are women who are single, by themselves, because niggas be nutting and getting the fuck on or whatever, who are by themselves, who are probably dealing with something, a pregnancy like that, who don't have a choice. They don't have somebody to take care of them. They can't call their parents to come help them out. They have to figure this out alone. They still have to go to work and pay their bills.
Yeah, that is true. Some women in those situations make bad decisions. But like I said, it's partially their fault. If they don't have anyone to go to, why would they why would they put themselves in those situations? And yes, sometimes they don't put themselves in those situations. Sometimes they're forced into those situations. But sometimes they do put themselves in those situations. And why would they? If it's only going to make their life harder. So in some situations, it's partially their fault for even getting into that situation in the first place. You know? And if you're going to be with someone and you don't and if you're in that rough situation, make sure to use protection. Like, seriously, because then you can avoid that whole birth or abortion route, you know? Just use protection.
And that shit can be so fucking hard for them. You think people want to get you think everybody just wants to get abortions? Some people have no other fucking choice. Some people don't have the option to do that. They have to. They have to continue living for themselves. It ain't about.
Okay, yes, I see what you're saying. Some people are just in those terrible situations, but that, at the end, I don't think abortion is ever the only option. And it should never, in my opinion, it should never be the first option. It should always be the last resort, in my opinion. It shouldn't even be a resort, but, in some people's cases, it'll be the last resort, or even the first choice, but I don't believe that abortion is the only thing that they can do. And plus, Dante's talking about all the hardships that women go through, which they do. Pregnancies are never easy, but think about all the bad things that'll happen after you get an abortion. It's only going to make your life worse. Because one, you have the mental trauma of killing a baby, and two, then you'll get a bunch of health problems from the abortion as well. Like, abortions, he was saying that pregnancies aren't very clear cut and whatever. Like, neither are abortions. Let me pull up something. God damn it, this fucking phone is so... Okay, you can see it if I put it really close. So, let me just show you some things. So these are some of the risks that may include heavy and excessive bleeding. Bleeding is a part of the abortion process. However, excessive bleeding is cause for an alarm. As such, it can sometimes indicate hemorrhaging. While hemorrhaging only happens in around 1% of abortions, the mortality rate is significant. Hemorrhaging can be caused by atony, I can't pronounce that word, and abdominal placentation, as well as by such procedure complications as perforation, cervical laceration, and retained tissue. Here's another one. Developing pelvic inflammatory disease. Women who are infected with chlamydia at the time of their abortions are 23% more likely to develop pelvic inflammatory disease, or PID, a condition with lasting consequences including fertile issues, abscences, and chronic pain. And that's if they choose to get pregnant again, of course. And of course it'll be worse if you have chlamydia, but it's still bad, and it's still possible, Let me pull up another tab. Okay, literally the first thing, death. Obviously, this is very, very unlikely, but still, let me read it. Side effects of abortions for women's health could be very dangerous. Besides risking the baby's life, Abortion also risks the mother's life. The researchers around the world have been confirmed. Okay, you know what? Fuck this tab. Didn't realize how many misspellings there were. Okay, this is probably the best one. Let me go to the... Okay, these are some of the short-term side effects. The short-term side effects of common abortion procedures are not well known. However, understanding how do abortions... Okay, I'm tired of these misspellings. Let me just read the actual things. Abdominal swelling and pain after abortion, excessive bleeding, uterine perforation, incomplete or partial birth abortion, cervical tears, and death. However, death is only a very rare extreme case. But it's still possible. Let me go to the long-term effects. Alright, long-term side effects. While these short-term side effects prove how high-risk abortion can be, it can also lead to more devastating long-term dangers of abortion, such as cancer. Abortion or pregnancies not carried to completion increase the risk of developing breast cancer due to the various physiological effects in the body. One of these is a sudden significant drop in estrogen levels, which causes rapid cell multiplication in breast tissues. You can probably imagine why cancer is considered one of the worst multiple abortion side effects. And that's only one. Now, the next one is infertility. Can abortion cause infertility? Yes. Women who have had an abortion in the past may have difficulties conceiving when they are ready. Abortions can affect fertility both directly and indirectly. A surgical abortion can directly cause infertility due to the uterine scarring, which can prevent the attachment of the baby to the uterine wall and can also lead to ectopic pregnancies. An inefficient abortion of an ectopic pregnancy can also cause the fallopian tube to rupture and render the woman infertile. The risk of developing fallopian tube infections, a condition called spingitis, indirectly causes infertility. This increases the possibility of future tubal pregnancies. And then here's another one. I'm probably going to read, hold on. I think I'll just read these two, or maybe the third one. Post-abortion syndrome. Post-abortion syndrome is a type of post-traumatic disorder affecting women after having an abortion. Symptoms may vary greatly and may include eating disorders, depression, difficulty sleeping, abusive or overprotective parenting, panic disorders, compulsivity, and many more. This is more like a mental trauma thing, but it's still bad. Now, sexual dysfunction refers to the problem that interfere with normal sexual activity or response. Some abortion info from several studies reported that the sexual desire, frequency, orgasm, tendency, and satisfaction of women can be severely affected if they had an abortion in the past. And then these are other psychological things. Like I said, abortions aren't easy, and they're not natural. These are choices that people make to either, some people, sometimes abortions go so badly that their bodies afterwards, let's say they get a surgical they get a surgical what's it called, like abortion. Sometimes their bodies can get mutilated for how badly the abortions go, or how ineffective their bodies are at proceeding with the abortion. Like, sure, sometimes it'll go smoothly, and if that's what they choose to do, hopefully nothing happens to the woman. But it's and I haven't looked up if it's a higher risk to get an abortion than it is to get pregnant. I could also look that up, but like I said, it doesn't. Actually, it does matter, because if there are more risks to getting an abortion than it is to get pregnant, then that would be bad, and that would just help me. That would help solidify my opinion more on why I don't like abortions and stuff. So yeah, let's not act like abortions are the easiest thing in the world either. In some cases, in probably most cases, they can end up worse for the woman than a pregnancy, I believe. Anyway.
Me trying to like cop a plea or whatever, like, or be like, oh man, I need abortions because if I have a baby, I don't want to be like, no, like I'm good, like if we have a baby, like if we have another baby, then we have another baby. I'm gonna take care of that baby. I'm not gonna be like, I don't think I'm ready right now. Like even if I'm not, like I'm gonna still do what I gotta do.
Hey,
and I respect that.
People tend to forget that if the woman consents, those fetuses from abortions can be used for stem cell research, which is seen as a possible way to treat cancer and many other incurable diseases.
See, I didn't know about all that.
Or even then, like,
heck, I find it ironic that we live in a country that literally doesn't listen to its residents. I also find it ironic that they care so much about the child being born, but not them getting killed in school.
Yeah.
Now that's fucked up. That is that is true. They do care about that's actually a really good point. However, that doesn't take away from for me, it doesn't change my mind about what I think. It is fucked up that happens, but still, like, abortions are still wrong, but yes, they should help more with kids dealing with like school shootings and this and that. They should help more with that.
That's true. What were you gonna say?
Like even like the procedure that I had to get done for what happened to me, because like I already said like if you want to go listen to the details, the thing is on my YouTube channel or whatever. But it's the same type of procedure that they use for abortions, kind of the same thing or whatever. Because like Peanut fully didn't pass through me.
That was the nickname for our baby.
So even then, in that situation, I had no choice. I didn't do this. I didn't do anything. It was just naturally happened. They still was asking questions like, "Hey, like, cause like even when females have miscarriages, like they get to the point where they could get locked up in certain states or whatever, and it's like you have done nothing. Like,
if they do get locked up for miscarriages, then that's messed up, because, well, obviously a woman can affect the miscarriage. Like, they can cause their own miscarriages. Like sometimes women don't take good care of their bodies while they're pregnant, but not all women are like that. Sometimes, a lot of women take care of themselves while they're being pregnant. Well, they are pregnant, sorry. So it's like, if they do get locked up for that, that is messed up. I agree. But miscarriages aren't the same as abortions. Abortion, I know this may sound like extreme or whatever, but it's murder. I don't care how people like say. I don't care what people say about like what they think. I truly believe abortion is equivalent to murder, in my opinion.
Just happened.
Bro, women have the choice
for no reason.
they want to sleep with, so that's their fault. They chose the wrong person to have sex with instead of getting married and being prepared. I do agree abortion should right for those women that are sexually assaulted.
Yeah, that donation said basic. It's partially the woman's fault, or they said it is the woman's fault for getting with the wrong people, and it is, but it's not all of their fault. It's not 100% the women's fault. However, they still should be held accountable for the bad choices that they make. You know, like if they make bad choices, something bad is gonna happen, and they should know that. You know. But I still don't think abortion should be available for even rape victims, you know? That's just how I see it. I know it may sound harsh, but you know, that's just what I think.
McSpanks, 99. My bad for being late to the stream.
With this happening, like I feel bad for like women who have no control with miscarriages and stuff, like because like you're already put under a microscope. Like when it happens, they're asking you a bunch of questions, like like what happened. So like, can you walk me through what happened?
Hold on, I just read this donation. Bro, women have the choice to sleep with who they want to sleep with. So that's their fault if they choose the wrong person to have sex with instead of getting married and being prepared. I do agree abortion should right for those women who are sexually assaulted.
I didn't hear that.
You do. I didn't hear that either. I just heard the last part. You do realize, like, some niggas just not shit. They can show you all the qualities of being a good man until they get that nut.
True. That is true, but that's not all cases. That's only in some cases. Like, I just hope that you're not acting like that happens all the time. That's all I'm asking.
Exactly. Like,
some men are very good at manipulating, yes, but some men aren't good at manipulating, and then some women also just make bad choices when it comes to this. Like, there are so many, like, outcomes. There are so many possible outcomes for this type of situation, you know? Like, it's never just one person's or one side's fault. Like, everyone is always a little bit at fault, you know?
No, people, they act a certain way to get what they want. And the second they get what they want, they can switch up.
Hello?
And it only takes one time, literally. It only takes one time.
My best friend died because her husband chose to keep the baby over his wife. His son died at 2 years old. Damn, I'm sorry to hear that. And it's like, and the same thing with Don. Like, I'm not.
That's horrible. I'm sorry for that. What that person had to go through. But, like, at least he gave the baby a chance. And it's terrible that the wife died or whatever. It's neither of them should have died. I'm not saying, oh, good, she died for the sake of the baby. Like, neither of them should have died. And if the baby was, like, I know this is gonna sound harsh, but, like, if the baby got to live for 2 years with you, like, obviously there must have been something you did wrong. Like, even if you're not a bad person and you're trying your hardest to take care of the baby, like you should have, if the baby was put in a bad situation and you were keeping it there because you just wanted to have the baby and take care of it, maybe you should have given it up for adoption. Maybe, you know? Or obviously I don't know the whole situation with that. Maybe there's a lot of things I don't know about it, so I can't really speak on it, but yeah, I'm sorry for that happening. Whoever sent that.
Telling him he needs to change his opinion. It's just wild as fuck. Like, you can have an opinion, but my nigga, I definitely got an opinion to what the fuck he said. And it's the same thing with chat. Like, that donation. Stupid donation in my mind, but that's his opinion. That's how he feels. But best...
Exactly. It's, I'm glad Dante still recognizes that everyone has their opinions.
Believe I'm about to respond and make you look stupid, because I feel like globally that is dumb. That is
It's only stupid to you. Just remember that.
Dumb thought process. It's the woman's fault because she should just automatically know who she's sleeping with and shit like that.
She should. Obviously, it takes longer for some people because like you said, some people are just really good at manipulating and acting and this and that. But they should find out who they're sleeping with as soon as possible. Especially if they're not looking for a relationship and they just want to have sex. Or if they are looking for a relationship and they don't want to have sex, or really any situation, if they're trying to get to know someone, they should know a lot about them before they do something like have sex or go on a date, Or maybe going on dates, those are meant for like knowing people and everything and figuring, getting to know people. But when you have sex with someone, you should know a lot about them. You should know who you're having sex with. Obviously, they don't have to tell you everything, like they're deep, not like, because there's some things that don't need to be brought out in public, But the person you're having sex with, along with, like you both should know enough about each other to the point where it makes both of them feel comfortable, Anyway.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe... Who knows?
This country is so backwards. They are making it so easy to get guns and not caring about what type of mental health issue the person getting the gun can have, and then they turn around and shoot a bunch of...
Turn around and shoot a bunch of kids, but women can't control their bodies. What the fuck? And that's the main thing, like...
I agree. This country does... maybe the reason they passed the law isn't because they care about, like, women or anything. Maybe they had the worst intentions when doing this. And sometimes certain laws can contradict other laws that have been passed. I agree that our country has a problem with that.
I'm thinking about, and I'm pretty sure what everybody else is thinking about is the women in this situation who are probably pregnant from unfortunate circumstances, and now they're just kind of shit out of luck, bro. But that's all it is. Like I said, y'all have opinions. Other people have different opinions, but you can't get mad at other people for posting how they feel and then turn around and say, well, I don't care what people think about me, because it's like you're literally trying to come at other people who posted their opinion and then get mad when people come at you for yours.
Wait, so you guys lost the bait.
You're right. That is a hypocritical thing to do. I believe you are allowed to, like, hate on people's opinions and this and that, but then you should also be prepared when people disagree with you. As long as you're prepared for people disagreeing with you, then I think you can spread your ideas all you want.
Yeah, we had a miscarriage. This was back in April. This was back in April. So yeah, man. Yeah, man. People just think I think from movies and shows, people don't grasp what happens during a pregnancy for real.
True. Movies and shows are very unrealistic a lot of the time.
They just think that's just the easiest thing ever. But yeah, man.
And I heard that like in some states they already like people who already had existing appointments, they already canceling their appointments. Like you can't even let the people that already had like were about to go through it. Like they're like canceling appointments already, y'all.
That shit's fucked. Like that shit's fucked up. Like imagine how do you instantly how they do that shit so quick, but with other laws like they be dragging their feet, man. They be taking their sweet time, but this was like, oh, thank God, finally.
Godzilla's coming, y'all be tripping.
I will say something about the law. I think they have good intentions, stopping abortions. Personally, that's just something I can get by with. But the fact that they make it like a state thing and not like a federal, or like the fact that you can get abortions in some states but you can't get it in other states is very counterproductive. Because like, if someone wants to get an abortion and they're in a state where they can't get abortions, they could just go to another state. So it's like, what are they? That's not really going to solve anything. It might stop a few people who can't afford to like travel, especially with the gas prices and everything. But the TSA being super like fucking strict or for no reason. Well, actually, it is for a reason, but still, like, it's still very counterproductive, and they should just make it a country thing, like a federal. I'm pretty sure that's what a federal thing is, where it's just not allowed anywhere in the country. But I could be wrong about that. But yeah, anyway.
I seen the movie.
If you try to control a woman's body, you're weird. Fuck out of here. And like that's another thing.
I don't think you should be controlling women's bodies. However, we're talking about abortions where the woman is killing the baby inside of them, or choosing to have the baby get killed inside of them. Not a miscarriage, a murder, an abortion. This is the baby inside of the pregnant lady isn't a part of the woman's body. It's inside of her, but it's in the process of being born. It's not a part of her. It's attached to her. It's like a part of her physically, but it's not. Well, no, it's not. It's a part. It's attached to her, but it's not a part of her. Like, I don't think women or anyone should choose to kill a baby just because it's inconvenient for them. Personally, I don't care how bad their situation is. Like, imagine what that baby has to go through in its last breath, not even being able to see the world and everything, It's like you're thinking about yourselves, but you're not thinking about the baby. Like, you should be thinking about both sides equally. Anyway.
You can't control women, right? You can't make them.
Kuro, I respect Don and his opinion.
Okay, but you can control the life of the unborn child that is actually alive. Sure.
But I disagree with what he's saying. In my opinion, if a woman doesn't want a baby, she can do whatever she wants. It's not up to us as men or a Supreme Court full of old people.
Yeah, I respect his opinion too.
It's not up to one person, or it's not up to like one side. Everyone that is a part of like the only people that really matter when it comes to an abortion in terms of like who gets to have a say is the husband and the wife, That's what's, or the like the two guardians, the biological guardians. Those are the only two people that really should have a say. Unless maybe the guardians aren't like taking care of themselves, and they need like a family member to come in and help, you know. But yeah,
I don't agree with it.
Just because there's a few people that abuse the option for abortions doesn't mean it's not an option that is needed.
Exactly.
Yes, people do. The people who abuse the abortion option is like, there's some of the worst people in America, arguably. Like, the fact that they could just kill babies whenever they want, or they think they can, and then act like there's no like repercussions or whatever, act like they're doing nothing wrong and everything, like, that's fucked up. However, that doesn't mean abortion should be an option, in my opinion.
Some people use abortion as like yeah, no, I'm not doing this.
FNG _
Because they be
abortion, like I said before, should be either the last resort or not a resort at all, in my opinion. It should never be the first option, in my opinion.
And like
another thing, people are so uneducated on the topic, no offense to anyone, but to everyone saying, just take birth control, that is considered a form of abortion. Birth control along with
like anything you're doing, like, you just, I don't know, man.
And even then, you still can get pregnant on birth control.
Yeah.
Yeah, people who say that are ignorant.
So yeah, it's just you know, this whole thing is crazy, and I feel like when shit like this happens, it just shows people's mindset. Like it shows people's actual mindsets. Dante knows this shit. I don't really know like my shit like that, but I definitely have experience, and I feel like that's the issue with a lot of people who are yapping out the mouth with bullshit. They have no experience in what they're fucking talking about at all.
True. I think Dante is is someone who gets to have an opinion and who gets to make assumptions. I know I made it seem like it was bad that he was making assumptions before, but he actually has something to go off of. I just think the assumptions that he makes are kind of questionable, in my opinion. But he has, in my opinion, he has the full right to, especially since he has something to go off of and he has experience on this type of thing, because of, you know, Danielle having a miscarriage and this and that. So yeah.
They just talk because they see somebody else talking. They have no experience at all, man. Like, I am definitely not the smartest person at all, but I have a lot of experience in different things.
Literally what I was just saying. Like, it says the treatment for an ectopic pregnancy is abortion. The treatment for a septic uterus is abortion. The treatment for a miscarriage so your body won't release is an abortion. Like I said, like, it's so many different things with pregnancy and so many moving parts. It's not just, oh, I want to have an abortion because I don't want to have a baby. Like, there's medical reasons why
for me it is
people have to, like, terminate a pregnancy.
Yes, there are medical reasons why that would seem like an option, but there are also medical reasons why you shouldn't get abortions and why it could possibly make it worse. Like I mentioned before, with the whole infertility thing, or the possibility of getting breast cancer, or even the rare extreme case of death. Like I said, very unlikely, probably less than 1%, but it's still possible, you know? And I'm not trying to fearmonger. I'm just trying to spread awareness that abortion isn't a safe thing to do, nor is it humane. In my opinion, you know? Well, actually, no, it's my opinion that it's wrong, but it's true that it's not confirmed to be a safe option. And neither is getting, you know, pregnant. But, you know, that's just hard choices. That's just the hardships that people have to go through, you know? Or people don't have to get pregnant if they don't want to. But if they do decide to, then that is one of the hardships that they're going to have to go through.
But I don't agree with taking away their right to do so. Just because you don't like it doesn't mean you take that right away from women.
Yeah. So
Yeah, but they're taking away the life of a child that is living inside them, that hasn't, it's, I don't care if it hasn't been like properly like born yet, or birthed. It's still living. It's still an actual child. Like it's still fucked up to me.
So someone just said, for me, at a certain point of the pregnancy, I don't like the idea of aborting the baby, but I don't agree with taking away their right to do so. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's just all about their right. And I seen another post.
I can respect that opinion, because it's like, it's kind of like a middle road. Like, they don't agree with the abortions thing, but they respect that women should have a choice. And out of context though, it does sound really, it sounds like a good thing to say, and I can sort of get by it halfway.
That actually brings up a great point. How they gonna know, like, who's pregnant or not? Like, or like, when pregnancies, are they gonna start checking women who are pregnant and like checking their like logs and shit and how far along they are and what they be doing every day and why did something happen if they do have a miscarriage? Like, well, how did this really happen? Like,
yeah, because like they'll know how far along they like your pregnancy, whatever. Especially like if you're the doctors don't try to go off of like the first day of your last period. That's how they know when you got pregnant. That's how they go off the weeks, and then past a certain amount of weeks is when they're saying that you can't have an abortion. So.
You're killing babies, dude. How is this the thing that people agree on? So it's really just fuck the women then, right?
That's not... How do you know that's what he's saying? Just because, like I said before, just because he doesn't support, like... Just because he said, like... He said, you're killing babies, dude. How is this a good thing? And then Dante said, so it's just fuck the women then. Like... That's not... How do you know that's what he's saying? I know that's not what I'm saying. But how do you know that's what he's saying? And also, you're... Like I said, you're like... It shouldn't be... Like... The woman giving birth and the child being birthed, neither of them are more important than each other. They're both just as important. You know? Yeah, the woman has to go through more because they're the one giving birth. But they also have the power, if they so please, to kill the child. And I don't think this person is exaggerating with the word kill either. Because that literally is what it is. It's not like some natural thing either. Abortion is a choice. It's a medical or surgical choice that people make if they want. It's nothing natural, and it can make things even worse if like the situations are bad, you know. Anyway,
I get it. I can tell by how you're typing though. You're a child. So it's like really, there's no point in really arguing it with chat because a lot of it is just kids with no experience. They just have a bland way of thinking, which makes sense. You're a child. You have no experience in anything. You probably haven't even had sex, or even been in a situation where you've had sex and you had a condom on and you thought you nutted in a girl. Like,
with our first child
it should be like that.
She never used birth control, and I never asked her to because the side effects are terrible.
Yeah, side effects are bad.
Now going forward, I have to think about maybe a vasectomy.
Because we can't use condoms. Damn, you can't use condoms.
Also, Don is talking about basically keeping the women in his life prisoner from the evil of this world, which he is coming from a good place, but why don't we focus on ending the evil instead of protecting them from it?
Yeah.
That's a good point. Ending the evil instead of just protecting them from it, you know, because, you know, like obviously if you get rid of one evil, there's always going to be another one that pops up. But at least we can learn from our mistakes and everything with situations like that. You know?
Yeah, bro. Like, I mean, both are kind of fucking impossible. Like trying to prevent your child or whatever from any danger, and also trying to stop the danger in the world altogether. But
that's true. But you know, we can always work to make it better. There's always room for improvement.
Yeah, I mean that does make sense, man. That does make sense.
I'm surprised about the period checking apps, like reporting to the government, like nothing is safe.
True.
In this, you have no privacy in this world, like, literally.
True. Yeah, that shit sucks, man. But I feel like it made for a great conversation. It is what it is, man. The Supreme Court is reconsidering many cases, including birth control for married couples.
I don't know about some of the stuff, like everything with birth control. I'm making this live to talk about like abortion and stuff, and you know, everything that Dante's talking about, or not everything, but you know. So like, forgive me if I'm not like educated into every single thing.
Why are you idiots acting like abortion straight up means killing an infant that's still in the womb? Stop saying you're killing. I feel like that's the only thing
That's exactly what it is, though. That's like, it's no exaggeration to me. I don't know why people think it's so like yes, you are killing a baby. That is exactly what an abortion is. I don't know why people like it's like they're acting so sensitive, acting like they're just, I don't know.
Like that really they feel helps their argument is if they say it like that and then like they're right.
So Dante thinks they're just like I expected. Dante just thinks that they're exaggerating by using the word killing, which is, you know, I think is like I don't think it's exaggerating at all, in my opinion. I think abortion is exactly what killing is, or murdering in some cases, you know, or killing and murdering is pretty much the same thing. But like, abortion is literally equivalent to killing. That's just like, that's exactly what it is. It's not exaggerating. Sure, it may not be the most technical, scientifical phrase to describe it, but that's exactly what it is. It may not be said in the most clear-cut, grammarly correct way, but it's still true. You know? Or technically it's not, because it's an opinion, and anyway.
Or whatever. It's kind of the same thing with this is what people disagree with me on, and which is why I understand like people's opinion. It's kind of like when somebody does something and then they use the Bible or God as a way to be like, well, I said I included God and I included the Bible, so I'm not wrong. So it's kind of like shit like that.
I do find it questionable when people use their religion and Bible and the Bible for their arguments. But some people can make it work, but usually I'm not down for that. I never did that.
Women's rights. And you, it's got.
I just find it funny. Yo, Tay, read the tweet in chat. What tweet? This is crazy. What happened? Damn. Abortion is now illegal in Alabama, with providers facing a maximum sentence of life in prison.
That's honestly, that's debatable in my opinion. Like, I don't know. I think that life in prison for Well, it is killing. You are killing a baby, yes, but I feel like that's different than when someone, let's say, like stabs someone in public or shoots someone. I mean, it's still murder, but like, I guess it. That's a different like. I can make a whole nother live stream talking about that, but that's fascinating.
Life in prison?
Hey, Julius SS. Crazy how white men feel the need to control women on their body.
Let me show it. Oh, let me read it. Breaking news. Abortion is now illegal in Alabama, with providers facing a maximum sentence of life in prison. Interesting. I don't know how I feel about that, but I mean that's interesting.
What the fuck? Wait. Life in prison? Damn, man. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Based on off the music, yeah, it is. It is kind of crazy to be talking about this and how crazy this situation is, and you just hear Kai in the background. Bust down, rolling avalanche. I'm check it out too.
Hey Danielle and Dante, hope y'all are doing great. America is so sickening. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, we're doing good, and it's just in a weird place right now. That's all it is. It's just in a weird place right now.
_wiggly_keen. Okay, my last point, if you are pro-life, think about what's gonna when all the children who are going to be born into a life where they can't be provided for and they end up starving and dying at the age of 4 months old.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but not everyone is going to be like that. At least when children are born, they have a chance to at least they have a chance to get somewhere in life. Not all children are going to get that chance, but at least they'll have more of a chance when they are actually alive. Or actually born, I should say. Because they, Anyway.
Yeah, that's the same thing as people with no money think, like, just because the baby comes out, like, they just don't magically have the money to take care of the baby. If they're not already having food or something. Bro, y'all ever heard of the term, like, dumpster baby? Like, some women just be throwing their kids in the trash, bro. They just throw it in the trash. Because they don't even got the means to set up, like, the adoption shit, man.
That is actually messed up. People who do that are fucked up. They, like that. Like I said, the best thing to do if you can't have a baby is just to is to not get pregnant. Like, you have to try your best. And I know things happen. I know some people get raped and terrible things like that happen. But it's like we were talking about with the situation with young Don just before. Like, they they still have to be able to take care of themselves and they have to know about their they have to be aware of like the decisions they're making before they make them. Anyway.
A kid in the trash, leaving babies at doorsteps and shit like that.
Batoric 29. Stopping legal abortions, IMO only stops safe ones. Plus, not every kid is getting...
That's a good point. Stopping legal abortions is only stopping the safe ones. That I agree. Despite these laws, people are still going to try and get abortions. They're still going to go to states that don't legalize abortions and everything. Or they're just going to get it like, I don't know, some like unconventional way, that's not like done by any like healthcare or medical professionals, like a doctor or something, you know. So yeah, there's still going to be abortions happening, but yeah, it's still messed up regardless.
Adopted and are just stuck in the system with no hope or guidance.
Damn.
In addition, women keeping an unwanted...
Yo, wait, that's real though. That's real though. Stopping abortions doesn't stop abortions. It just stops the legal, safe abortions. This is kind of the same thing with guns. Like, banning all guns doesn't stop people from getting guns. It's just people just who get guns illegally just have more guns or whatever. Wait, what? Also, you can't blame women because there are factors like the doctors not being educated enough or experienced enough to have a smooth birth surgery or procedure. Also, with the...
True. They, some doctors are not very experienced, which they should be because they're doctors. But yeah, let me rewind a bit because they're about to say something.
Educated enough or experienced enough to have a smooth birth surgery or procedure. Also, with the abortion, is that if you're a dude like me, you shouldn't have a say. Yeah, that's what I say.
Let me repeat that.
Is that if you're a dude, birth surgery or procedure. Also, with the abortion, is that if you're a dude like me, you shouldn't have a say. Yeah, that's what I say.
First of all, fuck that. That out of everything that has been said on this whole 39-minute video, we're 38 minutes and 33 seconds in. That is the worst point I think Dante has made. And this is my opinion, but fuck that in every single way. Like I'm definitely never going to agree with that. The fact that men can't have a say in abortions. Like, what if this loving husband and wife, for example, have what if the wife gets pregnant and like they're living happily, but then all of a sudden the wife gets pregnant and they're not exactly like ready, or at least they weren't expecting that, and the wife wants to get an abortion, or something like that, but the husband wants to keep the baby. So the husband just doesn't get a say in it. Just like the husband is literally the biological father of the child that is being considered for life or death, which is literally birth or abortion. It's the same thing as life and death. Like, I think there are some cases, like, for example, if a woman gets raped by a man, then I think then yes, the man shouldn't have a say in that case because he raped the woman. But if it's not that, like there are a lot of cases where the man should have a say in it. It's not. I'm not. The man shouldn't. Like, the man should. The fact that this person, and Dante agreed with the person saying that the man should never have a say in abortions, is so fucked up, because men are literally 50% the reason that baby could be born in the first place. That is so fucked up, in my opinion. Like, the fact, oh my god, that's just, I know these are our opinions. We don't have to agree with each other, but it's just so fucked up to me. I hate that opinion. Like, it's so fucking stupid, and you know, like, how would you feel if, like, what's it called? You were married to this woman. You're living happily, and then you both decide that you want a baby, but then all of a sudden, like, a few months in, the wife is getting like side effects, and she's having like second thoughts, and she all of a sudden wants to have an abortion. That, like, and the husband wants to have the baby. The man should have a say in it because it's literally also his baby as well. I don't care if the baby is being birthed by the mother. The man should still have a say in it because it's his child as well. It's that, like, the fact that people can so easily just be like, oh, just be like, only the woman get a choice in this. That is so goddamn messed up. Like, people are talking about, especially people are talking about, oh, I'm pro-choice and this and that. Meanwhile, men can't choose. Men don't get to have a say in abortions and stuff like that. Like, that's so fucking contradicting. Like, this is why I'm more of a pro-lifer than a pro-choice person. I'm not like some super political being, like, and I usually don't use those like super technical terms just to get a certain way or get away with certain things, or just, but technically I am a pro-lifer. By definition, I am a pro-lifer. I'm not going to go around shouting that and bragging about it, but that is what I am. But that's the most fucked up part of this whole thing, is that Dante believes that men shouldn't have a choice or shouldn't have a say in abortions. Like, men shouldn't have the soul. They shouldn't be the only ones that get the choice, but neither should women either. They should both talk about it. Like, anyway, let me wrap this up. This video is almost done.
The womb. Forcing women to have kids they don't want does not benefit the child. Foster care isn't an option, they're getting overflooded. This will lead to more kids dying due to neglect.
Yeah, man.
Yes, that is a possibility, but at least they have a chance. At least they'll most likely die of natural causes, or than having the parents kill them, or the mother kill them, or whoever makes that choice, like, it's to, like, the chat in this stream brought up the thing with school shootings and everything, how they don't care about that, but they were quick to make this law with abortions and everything. It is fucked up that they would side more with one thing than the other. I agree, but they're pretty much the same thing. That is why they should get equal attention, because they're pretty much the same thing. At the end of the day, children are getting murdered, whether it's getting shot up in a school or getting aborted by their fucking parents before they are even birthed. It's different situations, but at the end of the day, kids are getting murdered. Anyway,
it just kind of sucks, but I mean, I felt like I covered everything that I wanted to cover, or said everything that I need to say on the situation, because it was just crazy to me when I heard it. It's like, how could you possibly think, like, you can't control a woman's life. You can't control a woman's whereabouts, what she does. And some women want to work. Some women want to be independent.
But you can't control a baby's life either. Like, and you're talking about you can't control women's life, but what about the daughters that people that die from abortions? They're women too. Or at least they would grow up to become women if they got the chance. Like, what about the choice that people are making for them?
Whereabouts, what she does. And some women want to work. Some women want to be independent. Not every woman is with the traditional thing. Like, not.
And that's fine. That's fine. Not all women have to be with the whole traditional men have to follow them everywhere they go and this and that. I agree.
Every woman just wants to be sitting around the house. They want to get stuff for themselves. They want to get their own money.
Exactly. I'm down with that.
Because they don't want to feel like they're controlled, or if like something, God forbid, something happens to their significant other, then they're out of work. Like they're just down bad with no money or something, and got to rely on the insurance. It's just kind of stupid. What was the movie you were watching on your story? Started ask. No, that was a.
Okay, it goes on for a few seconds, but that's pretty much it. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I said pretty much everything I need to say. Yeah. I just felt like I had to talk about it. That's all. This will be up on my YouTube soon. It's in case some of you don't know, it's cinnamon, but it's spelled capital SIN, capital AMEN. But it's like sin amen, but it's cinnamon, you know. Anyway, it's dumb. But yeah, that's that. Thanks for the people who did join when they did. I know there's no one in this live right now, but some of you will probably see this after. But yeah, have a good day.